The ANC will embark on a consultative process with other African countries on the issue of the International Criminal Court. It will also consult with the ICC on its perceived bias. Our foreign editor spoke to the ANC's SACP and Cosatu on this issue.
The ANC believes that given the fact that there was a request for deferment of President al-Bashir's charges at the UN Security Council level to enable the African Union to continue with peacekeeping in the area and continue to get the talks going. The UN noted it and didn't do anything about it. And that occasioned the AU to take a position that says, well, in that case, there should be non-cooperation with the International Criminal Court, because it is not giving Africa its right to ask for what is normal Chapter 16 of the UN Security Council clauses, to have a deferment of a matter whilst there is a UN, mind you, a UN process taking place in a country. And in Sudan you have UNAMID, which is a UN peacekeeping force in Darfur. And therefore, while there's a UN peacekeeping force, there's an African Union process, peacekeeping process, it is logical for the multilateral institution in the form of the African Union to have asked for a deferment.
We did not embrace any atrocities committed against African people. We still are for human rights culture and human rights-based governance system on the African continent. But it should not be done selectively to pursue the interest of European countries.
South Africa must pull out of the ICC.
Well, we'll debate this in our Special National Congress as the SACP because it's a topical question. Nonetheless, our view is that we should have a general overview of some of the international agreements that we have entered into that are now making it impossible for us to develop as a country. And it should not just be the Rome Statutes alone. It should also include other questions in the economic field, for instance, various elements that ties up to WTO processes, World Trade Organization processes that now impact on our ability to grow our economy. So we should relook into all of those things, because we entered the field believing that the world is welcoming. But we've really felt that the world is not as welcoming as we thought it is. So it should be reviewed in that particular context, not only to protect al-Bashir, but to protect the country and its future political decisions.
From where I'm sitting, really, government has got to review its participation in the ICC, given all the realities now that you can have to comply. South Africa is involved in Sudan. Peace initiatives led initially by President Mbeki, President Zuma, the current Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. How do you expect them to manage those issues there and bring peace there, when they would be accused of arresting a leader that has the support in that particular country?
In order to pull out, they would have to go that way in terms of essentially de-ratifying an instrument that they've already ratified. The likelihood of that happening at the moment seems quite high based on statements that have been made by the Executive Committee of the African National Congress. The question obviously now is whether or not they will stick to that statement.